coming to tab sheet number 3, participants age group. As you can observe, we actually have got a duplicate right here. Clicking on it and following it up in the object inspector, we can clearly see duplicate 3. But at the same time, we can actually remember from the demo that there were some tabs appearing right on the top here. Now, where are they gone to and how did they come about? So to investigate that, let's quickly just run the demo again, that we can see what should be placed right here. Skipping that one, coming to the third one, you can clearly see all the tabs sitting right here with the perfect age groups as extracted from the table, and then an additional like tab right here. Now don't confuse that tab component with that one, which we actually see right on top here, which is a page controlled component compared to this one, which is a tab control component. So let's quickly just finish it and do some investigation. Click on that one, and coming to the structure itself from our form, we can clearly see there's our DB grid 3 sitting. It's right on top of the tab control, and the tab control is right embedded inside the tab sheet, and the tab sheet then is part of our page control right here. So what happens and how is it established and how is it built? Most probably that happens during the on-show event of that particular tab sheet. So let's go to that tab sheet. Let's select the tab sheet. Let's go to the events here, and let's go to the on-show event right here. Having the on-show event is right where we want to be, starting off page tab sheet number 3. So what needs to be done here is populating that specific tab sheet with those necessary tabs of the tab control. And that, of course, will only happen if you go back to the table of age groups and extract all these values. So let's see what happens. Tab control groups is cleared first. Then we just go open because we are working with that age group table right now, and we are resetting to the first record to be able to extract them all one by one. Now, as the list box has got items, the tab control has got tabs, and we just add in. So the first item then will be just all, because we can't extract it from the table. And then we are running through that table of age groups. Maybe we quickly just call them up again. What are these age groups? There we go. And you can clearly see from age 6 to age 7, from 8 to 9. So apparently we just need to get this number, hyphen that number. The first number here, hyphen second number, and so on. So let's quickly go that route. Again, we are looking at the age group table, looking at some persistent data fields here. How to get them again? You go to the data module, you click on that specific table, you right click, and you just fill it up with those data fields, making them persistent. So the from age is extracted here as a string, and the to age is extracted here with a hyphen right in between, and that whole thing then is added to the tab control. Then going to the next. So doing this, we're getting that specific characteristic type row of tabs. Now, where to get the specific component from, let us quickly have a look. Maybe it's a better way to go to the form and then go to right here. Let's close that one down. So as we're looking to tab control, there we are. We'll find it inside Windows 32. Okay, so for future purposes, we know where to find it. And there's our tab control we are making use of right now. The page control is the normal one you see right on top here. So there is a difference. Okay, fine. Having that in place, let's move on. Okay, that seems to be a self-defined method again. Let's just skip it for first, and as we need it, we are just jumping back and start analyzing what is happening here. Jumping down to the tab control, which we were just talking of, and you can clearly see it's an on change of that tab control, meaning we are changing from the one tab to the next tab, let's say from 6 to 7 years to 8 to 9 years. So of course each time that happens, those specific participants should be then displayed inside the DB grid number 3, which we just had a look at. So here we go. If that tab control index is like 0, that means we are showing all, then we are applying a filter which is non-existent. That means filtered is false. If that's not the case, then of course we are pinching on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever is the tab index, and that tab index then is stored right here. We're extracting that string, which could be just as well like 6 to 7, 8 to 9, and so on and so on. Having that age group, we're calling up the self-defined method or procedure, sending down the line that age group, and most probably inside that self-defined procedure it will be split up and will be returning like the minimum year and then the maximum year in string format to be used later. Okay, so let's quickly go to that self-defined method and let's see what is happening upstairs here. There we go. Typically, as we expected, the second and the third parameter here, or then argument, was sent as a reference parameter. You see that typically with a var, like a variable. Okay, let's go down to the age group Z here, which is then taken apart. We're getting the position of the hyphen, and having that position of the hyphen, we are copying from position 1 up to the hyphen -1 to get the years max. Typically, for the first item, like whoever is like 6 years, he will be having the maximum year, and that guy who's like 7 years, he will have the minimum year, being a smaller year of birth. Okay, then on top we need the current year minus 1900, just to get some nice distance to work with. That is the year for comparison. And I did a small example here in case we are running into 2000. It shouldn't be a problem. Like for today, 2013, it will come out as being 113 minus 6, and that's then typically 2007, which is the date of birth. If your max then is bigger than a 99, that means it's 2000 and on, special adjustments have to be made, and that is we just need to subtract from that 113 100 to come down to the 13, which could be added in front of an ID number. Now of course we don't have 2 digits at this point of time, we only would have like 1, but let's see how to take it onwards. So what we actually do here is for the maximum year, we just artificially make up a non-existent, of course, ID number with the maximum digits ever. That means we take 11 nines and put them in line, just to add in front 2 other digits for the decent year we actually calculate here as maximum year. So in case we only have got a 1 digit, smaller than 10, we need to have a leading 0 right in front to have it then added to the front. If that's not the case, we just go on because we've got 2 digits. Then the year compare, which was just calculated upstairs, need to be then subtracted. And same adjustment here again for the minimum year. If the year now is bigger than 99, then we need to do also some small adjustments here, minus 100. Okay, same about counts for the minimum year, where we start off with the artificial ID number all having 0 because we can't go smaller than that, and just adding right in front the 2 digits from whatever number is then calculated upstairs. So that brings us to the end, having a y min string z and then a y max string z. Since these two were like sent by reference, we are receiving those values back from right where we called them. So in here we've got our answer, which is then used inside a filter. Now let me just scroll it a little bit to the side to hopefully see the whole string. Now a filter is a different subject matter again, but just for quick explanation, what we do here is we look at the table participant, and inside the table we get that specific field ID num, as we heard earlier. Now these square brackets, they are not actually necessary. They are really necessary if you've got a space inside your name, but I put them here just for demonstration. If the contents of that field is bigger equal than whatever we got here through our calculation, that could become true. Same time, a second type of Boolean expression here. If that same field is smaller equal than the max, and that is also getting true, the whole string formulated here is resulting in a Boolean expression which delivers then true for our example. If that becomes true, then it's passed over here and the filtering will take place. Right, then just some follow-up actions. The panel downstairs need to be updated with those values. Right. Moving down to the last two steps, the moment we start like leaving that tab sheet again, moving over to the winners tab sheet, we should attend to one or two things. The first is the group status must be neutralized again, since no specific subgroup is selected, and same time the filtering, if ever switched on, should be then put to false again, that we don't have any filter. Okay, that concludes tab sheet number 3. So let's move on to tab sheet number 4.